Plastic surgery patients are facing ransom demands from hackers after a Las Vegas plastic surgery clinic had a data breach which led to medical records including detailed photographs of patients before and after their surgeries being released to the hackers. The hackers are finding information about the friends, family, and employers of the people whose medical records they've stolen and are sending or threatening to send those photographs all around to the bosses, the friends, the family, and they're demanding thousands of dollars from people in order for them to keep that from happening. And the FBI is investigating and warning plastic surgeons nationwide that they are being targeted specifically by hackers, not only because of HIPAA rules, but because of the threat of lawsuits and the extreme privacy surrounding the kind of medical records that these hackers have stolen. I'm Kevin Kneupper. I'm an attorney at Kneupper & Covey, and I want to walk you through what's happened in this case in Las Vegas and what to watch out for. This is a copy of one of the documents in one of many lawsuits that are being filed against this plastic surgery clinic. Their name is Hankins and Sohn Plastic Surgery Associates. They are in Las Vegas. They service a lot of clients in Arizona and California, as well as Nevada, who travel there to get plastic surgery. And people aren't complaining in these lawsuits about the quality of the plastic surgery itself. Actually, a lot of people have gone to the media and have said they liked the results of the surgery. So this isn't an attack on the surgeon's medical abilities or any of that in these lawsuits. But what they are saying is that they're claiming that the clinic did not take precautions that are required under these heightened privacy requirements called HIPAA. HIPAA is a law. If you're in the medical field, you're very familiar with that. It's a law that provides a lot of protections to people's medical records. It makes it a very serious violation of the law if those are revealed improperly. Now, the plastic surgeons have filed a declaration about this in one of these lawsuits. So I'm going to show you about the scope of this. This is a declaration. A declaration is just a sworn statement under oath that you do in writing to submit facts to the court for consideration. And you can see this is by Warren Tracy Hankins, MD, who's one of the partners in this plastic surgery clinic. And this person saying that they're a surgeon, but also the interesting part is that they say in March 2023, there were third parties who engaged in a cyber attack on the computer system of this clinic. And they say that the FBI has investigated this and informed them that between 10,000 and 30,000 people's medical files were compromised by the cyber attack, and that includes photographs and personal information of the clients. And so these people's information has all been sent around. It's obtained by the hackers. Well, what are they doing with this? This is part of the lawsuit where one of the plaintiffs laid out what they say happened to them. So this person says that that as part of the plastic surgery that the clinic required that they, quote, required that they capture photographs of plaintiff's body during her medical treatment, specifically of her private, things that should be private. And as a result of defendant's negligence, those photographs were disseminated to a large number of plaintiff's coworkers. She says that they were storing these electronically as part of the treatment, and then there were emails that were being sent to her employer and others, and that those files were also disseminated to the public. So in her case, she's saying that these hackers got a hold of this stuff and just started emailing it to everyone who works with her as well as her employer themselves. And this is all stuff that's supposed to be, if you're doing a surgery, it makes sense that you would need photographs. There's before, after, you're trying to make you look different. But when this type of stuff happens, this is obviously very embarrassing and very awful for the people who are suffering from this. Let's look at what some of the other people are saying. This is a section of a different lawsuit that was filed by a different plaintiff in Nevada. There's 4 or 5 different lawsuits now that have been filed. A lot of these are class actions seeking to have multiple people. Some of them have more than one people in the lawsuit. In this one, the plaintiff says that in March 28th, 2023, the hackers started threatening her and the class members over WhatsApp in that mobile app. And they were saying they would distribute the photographs to their friends, colleagues, and neighbors unless they paid the hackers directly. She says she told the clinic about this, and when she refused to pay the hackers' demands, quote, the hackers shared her consultation photos with friends, colleagues, and neighbors. And she said that the defendants, the clinic, the plastic surgeons, took no steps to prevent the release of this to her friends, colleagues, and neighbors. And as a result of that, she's been subject to extortion, to mental anguish from having everybody look at her consultation photos. Now, this is a news article from Fox 5 in Las Vegas, a local station, and the local TV stations have been doing a lot of good reporting on this. This one says that there's another person who was told that if she paid the hackers $800, then they would remove the photos from a website that they've been putting these people's photographs up on. Now, this is from 8 News Now, which is the local CBS affiliate, and This actually says that one of the lawyers got, it seems that's how he found out about his client, is that he received an email from one of the hackers directing me to photos and information about one of these clients. So they were sending these photos literally to their own lawyers. And this news station was interviewing people who, again, said that they were perfectly fine with the surgery. They're not knocking the doctors for that, but they do accuse the doctors of negligence for allowing this to happen. And the 8 News now is saying they think there's more than 12,000 patients who may be involved, according to some attorney generals who are investigating this. And if we go down here a little bit, another interesting thing is that the hackers are taking advantage of the lawyers, knowing that they're going to file lawsuits over this. They actually say here in the lawsuit, this is from the hackers that they're writing on this website where they're putting everyone's stuff up. They say, Mr. Hankins and Mr. Sohn continue to ignore the situation. We suppose they're listening to some experts and other specialist opinions. It must be taken into account that it's a huge number of clients and inevitably winnable cases for lawyers. So they will surely be advising not to engage in a dialogue with us. So the hackers are trying to get blackmail money from these doctors. They're still trying to get it from them, and they're out there threatening and posting more photos of people, and really utilizing the risk of lawsuits as a threat to try to get that blackmail money from the doctors. Now, what people should really be aware of is this is not just this one clinic in Las Vegas that's getting targeted. They're in a big mess right now, but the whole industry is targeted by different hackers, and the FBI has put out a public service announcement about this. They say they're targeting plastic surgery offices and the patients in particular. The reason they're doing that is they have this sort of phase to the scam. First is what they call data harvesting, and that's where they try to get someone at the plastic surgery office to deploy malware. They could be sending emails, they could be trying to send text messages. They get one employee to click on a link, and it's real hard to stop that. And then the plastic surgery office someone has basically installed malware, which is a type of software that can let the hackers have access to the records and download them. And the next phase is what they call data enhancement. So this is where the hackers will go around and they will try to access, now that they've got the medical records from the office, they're trying to find out information about everyone's friends, their family. They'll try to go onto their Facebook profiles, try to gather as much information as possible about who you might be embarrassed to have look at this stuff. And then the third phase, the FBI calls the extortion phase. That's what we're seeing happen right now with this clinic in Las Vegas, where the cyber criminals are going around, they're sharing information, they're sending emails or messages or whatever that they found about the various patients and saying, hey, pay me the $800, pay me thousands of dollars, pay me whatever that they ask for in order to not send all this private medical information around to various people. And with plastic surgery, part of the reason they're targeting these is because it's more embarrassing. The kind of information that a plastic surgeon may have is private photographs about your body. It's stuff that people really may not want out there. Part of the reason you go do plastic surgery, cosmetic surgery in the first place is because you may have something that you are embarrassed about yourself. You may just not like the way you look. You may want to change things. And if you're just shown, photographs all over of everything about you to all your friends and family, that's something that some people would just go pay that money to have that not happen. What's happening now? The FBI is actively trying to track down the hackers that did this. There's some data that showed that it comes from Russia, but they've said that that's really kind of irrelevant because wherever the IP address that shows what country you're from could be masked very easily. But they are trying to find these people, and they are trying to track this down and stop it. But they're warning everybody, if you're from a plastic surgery clinic, you're subject to these HIPAA laws that are in comparison to other businesses, you have a much higher requirements in terms of keeping things private. And you are also at much higher risk when these groups of hackers are figuring out that they can go out to your patients and do threats like this. So be careful out there. Be very careful about whether the surgeons that you're going to have steps and things in place to protect you from things like this. And hopefully you're not one of the people that's one of these patients that's involved in this. If you want to see more videos about crazy lawsuits, legal cases, hit subscribe.